Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of a rant video. I have a theory as to why I think New World have failed in their delivery and why everything happened sort of the way it did. It is just a theory, but I feel like the breadcrumbs all point in one direction potentially. But let's see what you think. Okay, now before I start, I just want to say, to me, I know that a lot of people are sort of shitting on the devs, and a lot of people saying, well, it's not necessarily the devs, it could be the business managers, and that's true. I'm kind of crapping on the New World company as a whole, right? The AGS, I guess. I don't really care who made the decisions. Like, the other thing is the devs are the face of the company. So, you know, if you get some bad food, cockroaches in your Uber Eats and you ring up the customer service, you know, their argument can't be, well, I didn't do it, because they're the face of the company. So they have to receive the heat. Just like if things had gone swimmingly well and everything was like really, really happy with it and everyone was like, oh my god, this is the best update I've ever seen, then they would be certainly happy to receive the praise, right? So they have to receive the heat at the same time. So, okay, so let's get going. Right. They've told us, the first little thing we have to consider is that they've literally told us multiple times, as PC players, when we complained about no content, they said, wait until May. Wait until May, there's going to be like a huge announcement, you're all going to be blown away, and we're going to release a roadmap at the same time. Right, so they're implying pretty heavily there that there's going to be a lot of content for PC players. Okay, so that is the first bit of sort of what happened that didn't happen. And then they also pushed it back once we got to, like, well, before we got to May, they pushed it back to June. So, it was just the console release. We already knew it was going to be a console release, so it was kind of like, where was the big announcement? Every PC player was like, where's the big announcement? We already knew that it was going to be on console. The question was whether it was going to be crossplay, really. And there's no way they wouldn't have known that they hadn't implied through their multiple times they told us there's going to be this big announcement, guys. Don't worry. Just wait. You know, we can't wait to tell you. You'll understand. You'll understand when we tell you in June why we've been holding off, right? They must have known that that's what they were implying was PC players were expecting content. So they've either purposefully misled us on multiple videos and in multiple situations. And as they say, intent is 9/10 of the law, and they absolutely had intended. If they purposefully misled us, the intention's there, right? It's either that, one option, or two, they're so incompetent and they're so ridiculously stupid that they didn't even connect the dots and see how that was going to be like a console release is not a big announcement, especially for PC players, because why would they give a shit about the game being released on console other than a big player population coming in, right? So those are your kind of two options. Either you're a liar or you're stupid. Now, in a way, both of those don't sit right with me. I just, even if you were manipulative, I don't see the benefit of lying to a customer base. Like, I don't think they're stupid. Because they're devs of a game, like, they can't be that stupid, right? And they have enough people to know, you know, like, they've definitely made some stupid decisions, but I think overall they're not stupid. So, I don't think they're stupid, and it just seems weird to me, like, why you would lie. Like, there's something missing, right? It just doesn't quite add up to me. Because that alone, the outcome of that is going to outweigh, the negative outcome of that is going to outweigh the benefit of lying, if you know what I mean. So there's something amiss, which is what I've been thinking about lately. So this is my theory, right? My theory is that they absolutely fell behind on the coding and the infrastructure needed for the data engineering for console release. And that's why when the announcement rolled around, they were so behind on schedule, or things were just so shit or whatever, that all they had to announce was the console release. I think that they had thought back when they announced it 6 months ago or whatever it was, that they were like, we're going to have all the consoles sorted, and then we'll release all this new content, right? And then that will be the big announcement and everyone will be happy. But then everything went tits up, and everything went wrong for them, the code or whatever it is, and then so they actually weren't even near console release by the time June rolled round. And so then they were kind of forced, even though they knew it was going to be an absolute shit show, they were kind of forced to say, well, we're just releasing it on console, right? Because that would kind of explain why they made a terrible marketing decision to advertise the console, even though they'd kind of imply that there'd be more to it. We already knew that. The reasons I think that is we already knew they were behind schedule because they pushed the announcement back a month from May to June. I know they said that was because they wanted to do it at that game festival or whatever, but I don't know. I think that wasn't the case. I think they were behind schedule. And I've already said I don't think the devs are liars, and I don't think they're that stupid. So I feel like there must be some other factor for why things turn to shit. And I mean, the only thing I can think of is that the console code just isn't working. It wasn't working the way, and they have just changed all their back-end code around, so that would kind of make sense a little bit. And then also the other thing that makes me wonder is, like, October the 15th seems so far away. Like, if you were going to be planning to release it on console and you've had several months to do it, you'd want to be releasing it shortly after your announcement, surely, but they're not. It's actually another 4 or 5 months away. So I think they've actually, without telling us, pushed it back again to October the 15th. I'm sure that 6 months ago, they were thinking they were going to be releasing it much sooner after the announcement, right? That might have made sense in terms of, like, wait, we've got a big announcement in June. I would not have been upset if they'd said, okay, we're releasing it on console in a month or within a month, and then we're pumping out this content, here's the roadmap, right? And they'd said they were going to give us the roadmap, so that sort of makes sense, right? Where they were like, it's coming out on console within the next month. Here's the roadmap, what we're going to do after that. We're going to be pumping out the content. Then I would have been happy because I'd be like, cool, content's coming. We've got all this stuff coming our way. And then at that point, too, they would have been like, the PvP zone and the new raid and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing, too, is they mentioned in their Q&A that they keep saying, oh, we want to get things right. We want to make sure it's bug-free and a smooth release. And they kept saying that, like, that was like a real focus for them. And you don't say that unless things have kind of been going wrong, which we all already know that every time they do something, they introduce bugs. So that could be the reason why they were saying that. But also it could be because the code isn't working, and that's really on their minds. Because I know I work in data science, and if I'm about to talk about the delivery of a project to a client, I'm going to be saying, like, you know, these are the analytics that are going to be coming through. This is what's going to benefit your company, blah, 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 blah. The only time I would ever talk about, I just want the code to work, is if everything was going wrong. If I couldn't get the machine learning models to work, or the infrastructure behind or the back-end code wasn't working, everything was going wrong, then I would probably start talking about, oh, I just want to get it to work. I just want, you know, everything to be, the code to be working and the data to be working and all that kind of stuff. So that would indicate to me what their focus is on, because that's what they keep talking about. Anyway, it is just a theory. Let me know what you think. I feel like there's just something missing, and everyone's a little bit in awe as to what were you thinking, and I just feel like this explains it a little bit more. You know, it might not be the truth, it might be close to the truth, who knows. Let me know what you think. I'll see you all later.